Well, YouTube has launched its Black Voices Fund to help African creatives. The $100 million fund will offer grants to creators in Nigeria, Kenya and South Africa over the next 3 years. Let's discuss this exciting initiative with YouTube Emerging Markets MD, that's Alex Okosi, joining us from London. Alex, good morning, and thanks so much for your time this morning. So what does this actually mean for our artists, particularly here in South Africa, who've been struggling, as we know, with COVID-19, with lockdown, with not being able to work? So what will this bring for them?
Well, look, as YouTube, we've always celebrated the fact that we offer diverse voices and creators on our platform. I think this fund really goes to focus on amplifying Black voices and being able to sort of dedicate funds that we're going to be able to use to create original programming, to amplify creators on the platform and artists, enabling them to access this fund to create even more diverse content that they can really use to uplift their play on YouTube.
So let's just talk about who will qualify. Which artists are we talking about? Which creators? Who would actually be able to take advantage of this?
Look, it's a broad spectrum of creators that we have on the continent that will be able to apply for this fund, and artists as well. Specifically, now we have not actually selected the creators, so everyone is open to obviously being able to apply for the fund, and that's kind of what's exciting about it.
And how would you qualify? I mean, what are the criteria to make sure you get a piece of this pie?
Look, to qualify, obviously you need to be on the platform and be a creator on the platform, i.e. that you have a YouTube channel, and that's effectively it, right? Obviously, there's other criteria related to, what are you going to use the fund for? So there's an application process that, and as we have sent out communication on that enables you to be able to, click to the link and go through the information. But the reality is that there's no specific set of creators or artists that qualify. If you have a channel on YouTube and you meet the criteria that we need, then you absolutely qualify for this fund.
All right. So so just so we're clear, you already have to have been on the platform, already have to have put your work on YouTube as well.
Yes. You have to have a channel on YouTube on the platform as a creator, an artist, to be able to qualify for the fund, yes. And
then when it comes to sort of competing with the rest of the world, Alex, and we know, yes, things like Jerusalem and stuff have really put us on the map, shown exactly, and lots that have come before Jerusalem as well, shown what we are capable of on the continent as well. But are we, assured that our artists and our creators will get the same, how should I say, airtime or playtime when it comes to YouTube? Or is that all just dependent on how interesting they are and who finds them interesting?
Look, at the end of the day, YouTube is an open platform, right? So it's not like a TV broadcaster that will just put you on air and play your content. I think the power of YouTube is that based on how great your content and your creativity is, you stand a chance to be as big as you can be, right? So I think that that's kind of what makes the platform really, really open. And it's in a lot of ways, it doesn't limit you as a creator or an artist to be able to fly. I think what you've seen on YouTube is, from African music that's flying, it's now really, really powerful around the world as a result of the reach that you can get from YouTube, and also the creators that you mentioned. We have amazing young creators on the continent, like Sizwe, etc., from South Africa as well, that are doing incredibly well on YouTube, and I think that's what's powerful about the platform.
Well, I also see here that YouTube taking quite a stand against bullying, harassment, and intimidation. I mean, how rampant is that, and what's happening out there?
Well, look, obviously, with all sort of platforms that are open, you're always going to get people that are not doing the right things in terms of attacking people. But as YouTube, we take this very, very seriously. We have policies in place to make sure that we are removing that kind of content. For instance, over the last quarter, we removed over 100,000 videos and 1 million comments that we deemed as really, really being hateful. So for us, we really work hard to make sure that our platform, as much as possible, is free from that sort of comments and that sort of attacks. So it is really important for us that you come to YouTube to see is great content. Of course, you can critique it, but there are definitely lines in which you cannot cross on our platform.
What are the rules, though, Alex? Are there rules for what actually what you can put out there, you know, in terms of explicit stuff? Because most of the time the impression you get is like anything goes, but I'm sure that there are lots of rules and regulations in place other than what you just spoke about when it comes to bullying and intimidation and harassment and all of that.
No, absolutely. You know, hate speech is something that we don't, you know, we don't definitely want on our platform. Issues that attack people's religion, race. Of course, one of the reasons that is important for us to be able to also use this fund is to be able to amplify, you know, Black voices, issues of racial justice. So when it comes to, you know, racism, you know, inciting violence, it's also not something that we want on the platform. So, you know, it is across the board information or comments or content that really aims to demean or sort of, you know, provoke violence against other people on our platform is not something that we want.
All right, and just a very quick one from you. Where would our budding artists and creatives find information or sort of get to the application process?
You know, we've sent out a massive to our YouTube creative community. We sent out a massive note that sort of enables them to understand this. So we obviously are able to, you know, reach out to a mass community of people that are on the platform, and they've received information in terms of where to link to this.